Hello, my name is HFox and I'm a full-time TEFL instructor. I currently live in the Netherlands and I have many online students, but I also do have a few in-person students as well. My students come from all around the world, from Asia, the Middle East, Europe, South America, and I've really enjoyed spending time learning about cultures from all of these areas of the world. I have a background in French and journalism, but also in public health. But I've always really been passionate about languages, and I found my way back to working with languages full time about 2 years ago. And I've been teaching English ever since I got my TEFL certificate in November of 2016. I really have enjoyed all of the experiences I've had teaching. They've been very different, but all very rewarding in their own ways. I've taught English to middle school students in France. I also had some students, some business English and general English students in Argentina that I did with classes as well as one-on-one. And then I was recently in Germany for about 10 months working as a business English instructor, and I had students from many different industries in the country. This was a really great experience for me because I was working full-time teaching business English, so I was able to really learn the ins and outs of that field. And I really was given enough independence to create and design my own lessons plans while still using materials from the company. And that helped me become a stronger teacher. I have been teaching online mostly for about the past maybe 9 months. And that's also been a really good experience because I have worked with even more cultures since I started, and as well as language backgrounds. And I've been challenged to design, test, and plan my own lesson plans with students from many different levels and many different parts of the world. So that's really helped me develop a lot of strength and independence as a teacher. While working online, I've also had some schools that provide me with materials. So I've developed a style of bringing my own personality to the materials that a school has provided me with, which is also a very different experience. And it's been a very good way for me to get comfortable with a different style of teaching as well. I have been teaching, like I said, for about the past 2 years. And this experience has been with, like I said, students from all over the world, but it's also been with all ages. I have students as young as 5, all the way up to businessmen and businesswomen. I also teach beginners, intermediate students, and advanced students, and I've done many types of lessons like business English, general English, conversation classes, and then I also design my own lesson plans for children. I, like I said, am really passionate about languages, and I always have been. So that is probably the main thing that I really bring to language teaching. I am really excited about other people learning languages because I love to learn languages, and I can also really easily relate to my students because I have been in their shoes before. I have seen the challenges and the rewards that come with learning the language, and I can more easily advise someone on the strategies that work and the strategies that don't work to learn a language. I'm also a very patient person, which helps a lot with something like teaching English because at some points the person that you are working with doesn't understand anything you're saying or very few words that you're saying. So learning how to be patient and how to slow things down is a really big benefit. And lastly, I am also a very empathetic person. So I am able to, like I said, relate to my students and help them come out of their shells, help them learn to make mistakes and that it's okay. And so all of those things have really helped me be a strong language teacher. I find that one of the most difficult points to teach in English is the present perfect. This can be very difficult because rules for the English language are somewhat strict and they are almost opposite of some other languages. So in English, we use both the present perfect and the simple past, whereas in some other languages, like Spanish, for example, sometimes people even switch the two. And this is also the same in German, although they don't have a simple past. They really just use the present perfect. So teaching German students what the present perfect is and why we have two different past tenses and when to use it was always a very challenging thing for me to do. But I was able to come up with a lesson plan that I found effective to help these students understand the differences. And I would always use a lot of examples and then have students practice on their own until they became comfortable enough with the way the sentences sound and if their sentences are technically correct in English or what a native English speaker might say. So I find that point to be relatively difficult to teach, but I actually really do like teaching grammar. And I do like teaching those difficult points because anytime I can learn how to teach better is a really helpful lesson for me as well. So that's about it for me. Thank you very much in advance for your time.